God also has a religion, but do you think God, like you and me, goes to a temple? God doesn't go to a mosque, does he? He doesn't go to a church. What is God's religion? You're a compound creature. You have a body and you have soul. The body is different in nature as compared to the soul. Why do you think the soul will embrace the religion of your body? It is completely different. The soul is different in nature. Therefore, every human being is supposed to have two different types of religion. The religion of souls is the same for the entire humanity. Why? Because in the primordial times, all the souls were together. They did not differ in nature. They were all together. So the religion of souls is the same for all the souls. But the religion of body differs. Hinduism is the religion of body. Christianity is the religion of body. Islam is the religion of body. Judaism is the religion of body. There was no sign of Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism when God created all the souls. And all the souls were in front of God and He asked them, "Am I not your Lord?" At that time, there was no religion. And all the souls affirmed in positive. So that time, the only religion that existed was God's love. So those who developed love of God in that moment in time, those souls were then sent into this world. Some of them came to this world and they were born in Hindu families. Some others were born in Jewish and Christian and Muslim families. And some of them became Baba Guru Nanak, others became Kabir Das and Narayan Das, Baba Farid, Khwaja Gharibun Nawaz. They were all together before they came into this world, in this material world. A body needs to adopt a religion to awaken the soul. All you need to do is to awaken the soul. The soul already has its religion. And the religion of the soul is God's love. And this also is God's religion. God also has a religion. Allah ka deen bhi hai. But do you think God, like you and me, goes to a temple? God doesn't go to a mosque, does he? He doesn't go to a church. What is God's religion? God's religion is love. This is why Jesus said in the Bible, God is love and love is God. One who doesn't know love, he doesn't know God. If you adopt God's love, you enjoin God on the path of love. Then you will love God and God will love you. These religions, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism, these religions will cater for the physical needs of purification. It will purify your body. It will purify your negative psyche. And ultimately you will reach the awakening of the soul. And when the soul is awakened, your job is done. Because the soul already has a religion. And all the messengers of God, all the prophets of God, all the friends, saints of God, practice the religion of God. Once your soul is also enlightened, you will join them. Your religion is the same as theirs, and their religion is the same as yours. And this will only happen when the body is purified and the heart has become enlightened. Because the heart is like a prefect for your body. You know, in the schools, among the student, one of you is chosen as a prefect. who takes care of the entire class. He's not a teacher, he's just a student. But he is given this responsibility to discipline everybody in the class when the teacher is away. In a similar way, the heart is made the prefect. You now harmonize the soul and the body. The heart is given this responsibility to make a bridge between the body and the souls. Once the heart is completely enlightened and the harmony has been established between the souls and the body, you will enter the religion of God. And the religion of God is love. And anyone, whether through Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, or Judaism, anyone from any religion, when he manages to purify his body and the negative psyche, and he manages to enlighten his souls, he says, I am not Muslim anymore. I am not Hindu anymore. I'm not Christian anymore. Who are you then? I'm a servant of God. My religion is God's love, and the entire humanity is my nation. The entire humanity turns to be his nation. Because he develops the divine attributes. God, creator of the entire world, who created different species of creation, don't you think he loves his creation? If he hated his creation, if he hated the idea of creation, he wouldn't have created them. So you need to understand the fact that God naturally loves all. Whether you are a Hindu today or a Sikh or a Muslim today, this is your temporal identity. This is not your permanent identity. Your permanent identity is that you are creation of God. You're God's creation. That's your permanent identity. And once the souls are enlightened, then you do not see difference. In the eyes of a Sufi, the entire creation of God is equal. Because God loves all, he adopts this divine paradigm, and he also have this natural impulse, very urging impulse. I must love all, because this is what God does. And as a true servant of God, I must do as God does. God loves all, I must love all. If you have hatred for anybody, think twice before you call yourself a Sufi. A Sufi cannot hate anybody. It is impossible. Let me tell you a story of a woman at the time of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad had an uncle. His name was Amir Hamza. And Amir Hamza was such a nice, wonderful guy, sublime in character, very kind-hearted. And he loved Prophet Muhammad like crazy. And there is this woman, her name was Hinda. They killed Prophet Muhammad's uncle and tore his body apart, and she cut off the liver from Amir Hamza's body, and she chewed the liver. She was mother of Amir Mawiyah. Prophet Muhammad was really sad when this happened. But look what happened when Prophet Muhammad returned to Mecca as victorious leader. When the conquest of Mecca happened, Prophet Muhammad entered Mecca with victory. He could have taken revenge, but he forgave them all. And when that woman came in front of Prophet Muhammad, all Prophet Muhammad said to her was, because of what you did to my uncle, every time you come in front of my eyes, I recall the incident. I have flashes of what happened in the past, and I don't feel good in my heart. So will you please do not come in front of my eyes? That's all he said. But he didn't hate anybody. So when you become a Sufi, I'm not saying you took initiation of the heart yesterday and today you're expecting to become a complete Sufi. It will take time. If you see somebody showing negative ailments, It doesn't mean that he has become a complete Sufi. It takes time. But ultimately, when you have reached your destination, when your inner and outer is harmonized, when your outer is as pure as your inner, when your speech is as pure as your intention, in that moment in time, you'll become a perfect Sufi. Then, even if you want to, you cannot hate anybody. I'm telling you, honest to God, I have this difficulty in my heart. Nobody, no matter what people do to me, I do feel hurt sometimes. But after a few minutes, my heart is the same again. I don't feel hatred for anybody. I don't feel hatred for the enemies. Forget about the friends. In the past, I used to question myself, how will you befit you? How will you befit in the character of a Sufi? A lot of people do a lot of bad things to you. And then obviously when somebody does bad thing to you, you feel really awkward. And I tried to force myself to not to hate them. But there was hatred in the heart. And I used to think maybe I'm not a Sufi. But then a time came and I realized now my heart is a sanctuary for everybody. Everybody. I cannot hate anybody. Even if I try, I cannot hate anybody. Such is the magic of His Holiness Gaur Shahi. I cry for people. I cry when I want them to adopt spirituality and they turn their back on it. I cry because I feel that God has given this potential to everybody. Why they're not heedful? When you can house God in you, why do you shut the door of God's entrance into your heart and you restrict yourselves to pilgrimage to the holy land and holy buildings? Why? Why you don't want to love God? Why do you want to waste your time?